Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another All Recovery Thursday meeting, virtual. Yep. And my name is Craig. I'm one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. And I have with me my co-host, or the anchor host.
Welcome everyone to another All Recovery meeting. Again, my name is Michael Williams. I'm one of your recovery coaches.
Yes. And so before we begin, we just want to welcome you and just tell you about some of the things that are going on this month. This is a brand new month, and this is July 2021.
Got a lot going on.
A lot of stuff going on. So we're going to have Recovery on Wheels next week on the 7th, Wednesday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Nice.
We're going to be at the Wendy's right here on Broad Street, 39 East Broad Street in Bristol, New Jersey. Please come out and get some service. And there's a lot of things that we plan on doing, and so we're looking forward to seeing everyone. Before Wednesday, we have a virtual meeting on Tuesday.
That's right. We'll remind you about the upcoming Recoveries on Wheels that will be in Bristol. Also, for Recovery Spotlight, every first Friday in the month, we have a Recovery Spotlight. And that is simply us taking some individuals who have filled out on the link and allowed us, with your permission, to make you one of the Recovery Spotlight people for Capital Recovery Center. And Capital Recovery Center would like to highlight people in recovery to celebrate their recovery milestones and spread the message of recovery. These are important accomplishments and deserve to be celebrated. With your permission, we would like to share your success and infuse hope in those struggling, and to eradicate stigma and eliminate shame. Again, we have every once a month, we have a person who we like to spotlight for that whole particular month. And we would love for you to be one of the individuals that we would like to spotlight. If you would like to be one of those people that we would like to spotlight, please follow the link that we'll have posted next to the flyer of the picture of the spotlight for that month. And if you would like me to send it to you, the link to you, so you can put in the information for us to spotlight you, just put the number 5 in the comment section and I'll inbox it to you, and you can take it from there.
And also on Mondays, we have our Motivational Mondays.
Motivational Monday.
Please check us out on our website, Cumberland County website. You can see us on that as well on Mondays. Also, we would like to thank everyone that came out on yesterday for our Recovery Resource Fair. It was a success.
Yes, it was a beautiful event.
Yes,
we had a lot of people that came through that was in need for different services, and it's always an honor to be able to have individuals come through and we be there for our community.
And we thank all the healthcare providers that came out and showed love. We are so grateful unto you as well. And so we are here in the community serving those who are struggling with barriers in their life.
We try to knock them down.
Oh, we're going to knock them down.
Knock down barriers at Capital Recovery Center. And if you look on the screen, our motto is, how can we help you with your recovery today? We always are out there in the community and trying to help individuals with their recovery. So today, Miss Karen is going to introduce herself before I move.
Oh, hi, I'm Karen. I'm a Capital Recovery coach. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. You know why she was late? Because she was just doing nothing. No, she was trying to help someone get into a program, and that's how focused we are. We have to be able to be transparent and be able to help individuals. That's what we do. So today, we're going to finish or pick up where we left off, if you will. We're going to be talking about the 12 steps and the 12 programs, everything you need to know. We did, I was about to say verses. We did step 1 through 4. Now we're going to do step 5 through 8. Step 5 through 8. Who would like to begin?
All right. Well,
Step 5.
let me begin. And
All right.
we're gonna start on step 5, and that is integrity. That's the step 5. It's called integrity.
Yes.
And it says, admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, the exact nature of our wrong. Are you with me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just checking, you know what I mean? Making sure that we are synchronized here.
Yeah.
Step 5 is focused on the act of confession. Key terms to note here are admitted our wrongs. Number 2, to God. Number 3, to ourselves and to another human being.
All right.
Here, one has admitted their moral discoveries of step 5, both externally and internally. The goal is to lower one's risk of destructive coping by relieving them of their guilt. Shame creates a cycle of relapse that is challenging to break. Let me read that again.
Yeah, come on.
Chains create a cycle of relapse that is challenging to break. Let me pause right there, because a lot of times it's often stated, people are afraid to change new ways of living, change a new way of behaving can be a challenge. But don't let that frighten you, because those are number of small steps that you have to take, or small hurdles that everyone in life has to take. As long as you have a support network such as these great recovery people here next to me, as well as myself, we will assist you along the way.
And also,
Go ahead.
And also, don't talking about change is difficult. Change is difficult for not just you. Change is difficult for everybody. It don't matter what we have to change in our lives. I don't care who you are. If you have been doing something for a long period of time and then you have to change it, it's going to be difficult. That's why I've learned, or I read from the experts, they say a lot of people, when they try to start out diets, they try to change everything at once and they fail, because it's so difficult to do, instead of just taking on small chunks of it and working up to something big, because change is so difficult. So don't be discouraged if you find it challenging when you're in the process of changing.
All right. And so with that said, as you unburden yourself, the release helps you to avoid unhealthy coping. And many specific harmful behaviors begin in step 4. But true cleansing comes from speaking with the external world about these acts. One specific reframing of God will determine how they will confess their wrong. The affected may already be admitting their harm through spiritual prayer. Others may find themselves in a dialogue with their mental health professionals or shouting to the cosmic void. There is no right or wrong way to confess. For many, discussion with another human being will occur in their support group. The fellowship of a 12-step program comes into full effect here. The layers of this confession may happen in isolation or simultaneously, but all will help cleanse the weight of shame from the affected person's conscience.
It says, but true cleansing comes from speaking with the external world about these acts. What that simply means is, a lot of times when we admitting something wrong, we don't actually verbalize it. We keep it inside. Like, we tell ourselves, I was wrong for doing this. But the true cleansing comes when you can tell somebody that you possibly have done something, or let them know on an external level, like I did this wrong, or I did that wrong. That's the true cleansing way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was you done?
Yeah, and I just want to add what I'm talking about. Expressing that to another human being. Mike had an incident. Well, not an incident, but he had someone that he was assisting. He could receive a phone call. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things is admitting to someone whether individually or in a group. I don't know if you want to elaborate on the phone call you was telling me about this morning. Person called you.
Oh yeah, the phone call was that they had called and said that they was having thoughts about a particular situation, and I said they telling me about the situation that they had the thoughts about, and I said you just grew in the development of your coping skills and your relapse process. And they said, how is that possible? I said, you called somebody and told them about the thoughts. So telling someone actually takes the power away from the thought that's going on in your head. So he grew right there and he really didn't actually know it. But the fact that he called and reached out is the process of using a different coping skill. Right. He utilized it.
He utilized the fifth step.
Yeah.
Integrity. He was being honest with himself and with someone else.
He utilized the step we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
And that's step 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Don't try to tell them a partial truth. Tell you a little bit about what I did. When they get home, they say, man, you said you took money out the bank. You ain't said you emptied the bank. I'm tired of myself. Oh,
yeah. It was a stick up, huh? Without the gun.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, number 6.
Number 6. What's going on with the jacket? But anyway,
sometimes you have to stand up, scratch, and take the jacket off.
I mean, come on, man. It's all right. This Capital Recovery Center. Welcome to our living room. Well, this is our group room. Make you comfortable. Step 6. Step 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of characters. Very powerful step here, because I was just talking about on Tuesday about building a good reputation. And in order for you to build a good reputation, you have to understand that your character and reputation all goes together. So it says we are entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of characters. Step 6 is regarded as a stage of relapse. Significant phases include have God remove and defects of characters. Sometimes, I don't know the high percentage, I haven't done my own personal study, but I believe that a lot of times when situations arises in the area of relapse, or I know for a fact, that I was telling one person who had recently relapsed, and he had a prevention plan in place. And after he relapsed, and I asked him about his prevention plan that he had in place, he had the good necessary tools in place. He had a sponsor, he had a spiritual advisor. He was going to like meetings and going to church services and everything. However, he still ended up going back to the substance that he was trying to stay away from. So I tell him he has to change his relapse prevention plan. And he says, why? I said, well, evidently it didn't work. So that means you got to either modify it. And I told him also to work on some type of character issues, because a lot of times relapse is present when we have defects of characters. Releasing the negative behaviors identified in the previous step is a massive hurdle. Defects of characters are reshaped by replacing old coping behaviors with healthier decisions. You see how it says replacing. And I told him he had to replace that old plan he had in place. Mm-hmm. Something has to be replaced or taken out or modified about his relapse prevention plan. Old coping behaviors have to be replaced with healthier decisions. Learning new ways to behave is hard, so one might revisit this step multiple times. Multiple.
Willingness to revisit that.
You got to be willing. It won't come. It's not going to be like, oh, yeah, just let me go ahead and revisit it. So step 6 is talking about the character defects, and we have to be willing to revisit this over and over. The 6th step is also about choosing improvement over perfection. Remember that the addiction is treated as a disease. Willpower cannot perfectly help you avoid triggers. One's higher power, God, will help with hardship strikes. I can testify to that. When I can't do it, I always tap into my higher power, Jesus Christ. That's my understanding of God. I tap into my higher power and ask him to help remove all my defects of character.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Progress should always be valued by an affected person regardless of relapse. Learning usually requires mistakes, so recovery will never ever be a straight path. That means that it's going to be a process. Some days you're going to be up, some days you're going to be down, some days you're just not going to know what to do. It will never be a straight path to your recovery. With that is concluding of step 6. We are entirely ready to have God remove all our defects of characters. Next
is step 7, which is humility. Humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. Step 7 connects with the idea of humility. This acts as an extension of step 3 and step 6, as now one knows specifics about their weaknesses. Now that they know what to remove, they can allow their higher power to assist. Remaining humble keeps the recovering individual from downsizing the impact of behaviors. It also causes one to check the limits of their will over disease. Most importantly, one is able to see the influence a greater force can have on addiction. Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings.
Humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. This is my spiritual mentor had asked one time during our mentor sessions, and he says, have you asked God to help you have you asked him to remove your shortcomings? And I was like, nah, not really. He was like, why not? He already knows. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. So it's not like he doesn't know, but I still didn't want to ask I didn't want to ask the God of my understanding to remove my shortcomings. And then when I came back for my next session, which is every month, he asked me the same question, and I have not asked God to remove my shortcomings. And he told me the reason why I didn't ask God to remove my shortcomings is because I enjoyed them. And I said, wow. So sometimes we don't want to ask God to remove some of our shortcomings because we are actually accustomed and comfortable with the situation. And we know that if he takes it away, then the thing that was my best friend, from my mentor said that my drugs was my best friend. So I never asked God to take the drugs away. When I made the decision to humbly ask him to remove my shortcomings, I don't know how it happened, but the taste for drugs was removed. And I said, dang, I could have did that years ago. But I didn't understand that the reason why I didn't ask him to remove it is because my drug had actually become my best friend. So just think about your best friend. Would you want your best friend out of your life? So,
word to the wise. All right, step number 8. Oh, we at the bottom. We started from the top, now we at the bottom.
out here.
We're gonna go back and revisit the top again.
That's right.
Mike gonna do all that. But step number 8 is brotherly love. And it states, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all.
Wow.
Now I have a long list, but I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do them virtually to anyone that's sincere, anyone that I have hurt or harmed in my lifetime.
Good.
Please forgive me. I'm saying this openly from the bottom of my heart to you. Step number 8 reads, step 8 is like a moral inventory of one's social damages. Guilt management is vital to averting one's destructive coping behaviors. Let me say that again. Guilt management is vital to averting one's destructive coping behaviors.
Wow.
Recognizing the hurt and damage that one has done helps you to purge yourself. And I was going to say regurgitate, but I looked up the word purging,
Nice.
and that is to cleanse yourself of all the things that you have done. As in step 4, this is a form of assessing guilt for hurting others and taking action to admit it. Person we have harmed make us accountable for the danger of an unmanaged addiction. Facing this truth gives the affected another chance for progress. This external focus is a recurring theme in the 12 step. Making amends for social harm is focused on doing good outside of themselves. This replaces addiction behaviors that tend to be self-serving. Eventually, one has less guilt and more motivation to improve the lives of others. This in recovery can move forward, willing to improve their social connection. Make a list of all persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. I like the last sentence where it says, well, next to the last, eventually one has less guilt and more motivation to improve the lives of others.
Nice.
By knowing and accepting and admitting to not only myself but others that I have harmed, it gives me the willpower and the drive to have the compassion to help someone else along the way. And so I hope someone will forgive me, and just as well, I hope someone will forgive you.
It says, step 8, made a list of all people we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. The part about becoming willing to make amends to them all is your part. That's our part. However, no matter if you're willing to make amends to some people might not accept you making amends for the things you have. They want to hold on to what they have done to you, and this is tough, but they have the right. They don't actually have to say, yeah, you're making amends, you're clean now, and we accept your apology or we accept, your forgiveness or whatever. But they don't have to accept it. But your part as the person that came out of the substance use disorder issues is being willing to make the amends. Them accepting your amends or whatever you want to call it is up to them. They have the right. I'm saying that because next month, I will have going on 12 years removed, and not everybody has accepted that the fact that, what I did, they still hold on to it, but you can't hold on to that either. So don't beat yourself up and keep trying. It's good to keep trying to go to them and everything, but don't spend too much of your time trying to make amends to everybody if they won't. I mean, the people you have repeatedly going to asking them to make amends to them, if they're not accepting it, you have to understand some things will be done on their time, not yours. All right.
So you want to revisit these steps, Mike?
Yeah, we can.
For those who may not know the steps.
All right. So what we gonna go from top?
Just call them out. I'm not sure.
From number 1?
Yeah, go ahead. You go.
Number 1 was honesty. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol.
Number 2. I'm sorry, what? No.
Or any other substance that our lives had become unmanageable.
I'm sorry. Number 2 was hope. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
Number 3, faith. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him.
Number 4 is courage. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves.
Number 5, integrity. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrong.
Number 6, willingness. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character.
Number 7, humility. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings.
And number 8, brotherly love. Made a list of all persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. That was verses steps 1 through 8, and we will be going over steps 9 through 12 next Thursday. Again, this is Capital Recovery Center, and always we are here every Thursday at 1 p.m. p.m. and Tuesday at 10 a.m. And we appreciate everybody who supports us while we do all of these live streams and programs. Tune in next week. And remember about Recoveries on Wheels Wednesday. We will let you know about that also. And look for the Recovery Spotlight tomorrow morning. We will be featuring someone and spotlight them for their recovery for the whole month. Again, thank you for everything that you have done and being there for us. And we see you guys later.
See ya. Thank you.
Take care.